It's Great Day Houston.
Yeah, oh yeah! You aren't watching just any show.
That's right.
Just right, al dente.
From celebrities, food, fashion, health, and more.
You've got to change your lifestyle.
Exactly.
Wake up with your morning cup of fun with your host, Deborah Duncan. Great Day starts now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Great Day. Can I just say, and I think I have an amen from the amen corner over here. Can I say amen to the weather we've had over the past few days?
Oh,
Yes, it tells you that fall will be here pretty soon, officially September 22nd. So today we're giving you a fall preview on the trends we're seeing from fashion to decor. And here to show us what's hot for the home, please welcome interior designer Bill Stubbs. Hello.
Oh, thank you, Deborah. Oh, you cute girl, you.
All right, as a designer, I know you love every time of year, but just like the seasons change, it's a good time to make changes in our home.
You know, my favorite time is this time.
Yeah.
It really is. Fall to me is, well, first of all, because we live in Houston, right?
Yeah.
We welcome the fact that there's going to be a little crispness in the air, and we're just hoping, and we got it. I mean, it's so it's so wonderful that in the last couple of days we've actually felt that dry, crisp air, and even though it's slight, it's still 85, but it's great. So it's really wonderful. I love it at my house. I always feel like my house is like a fall house, and I am so anxious to like put the mums out and the crotons and things like that.
And your house is, I gotta tell you, is absolutely beautiful. We'll have a tour of your house at some point,
Yes.
but it's beautiful. But it's that kind of house that you want to cocoon in.
Yeah, it is very warm and cozy, and so I always feel like it's not a summer house, that it is a fall house, and so fall is a great time. There's a lot of real easy things that we can do to kind of bring that, to celebrate it a little bit early, and bring in those colors and all the things that are fall.
And you can bring in those colors in a number of different ways. I like to have like a neutral background on my walls and everything so that I can make the color in my accessories and the whole bit, but all kinds of ways you can bring color. If it's paint and you change it, no big deal, right?
Right.
All right, let's talk about the popular colors for fall. We know that every year, just like in clothing, there is a popular trend in colors.
Sure. And I believe that it's consistently this sort of burnt orange kind of a color, and it's very big right now in fashion, and it's big in interior design, and it's a quick thing. You bring out that sort of pumpkin kind of color, and then you really feel that you've accomplished that. Look at those orange chairs. Aren't those great?
Great example of the walls are neutral, but in those chairs and then the pillows and accessories, that orange is beautiful.
And there's a room that has a white sofa and some pretty basic things. You can change that very, very easily by changing out those pillows. But I love the pop of the two orange chairs.
Yeah, and then the chocolate brown and butterscotch, which these are those typical fall colors.
Yeah, and that's really my house, is chocolate brown and butterscotch.
That's why I always get hungry when I go to your house.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I never can burn a vanilla candle, because you just feel like you got to eat all the time. So I do love that idea of that warm kind of feeling that you get when you walk into a house like that. And then also, as far back as my grandmother, I remember my grandmother used to change out all of her accessories, and in the fall bring out the brass and put away the crystal and change things around a little bit that way. Put candles out, and I like a collection of brass candlesticks. I love this isn't this beautiful, a white room? Yeah. I love that clock. And that looks a little bit like my living room. And then adding the orange pillows. That's a room that you can transform. Also, I like the pottery that's on the coffee table. So it has those browns and butterscotch kind of colors, and then the dark rug.
Then you can throw in things like the pumpkins or the leaves, and all that type of stuff that comes from outdoors.
Gorgeous, gorgeous room.
Okay, and pumpkin with asparagus. So now we've mixed a couple of
love that.
really pretty colors there. That pumpkin with the green.
Because then if you bring in that green, that asparagus kind of color green, then that is a little bit ode to summer, and then we're just gradually sort of tweaking it and bringing in the orangey colors and everything. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's really pretty. I love that malachite table. I'm kind of like really crazy about these kinds of interesting finishes. The chagrin, the malachite, those type of finishes are really interesting.
Yeah, okay. Now, cozy colors are great in the bedroom. It can be all over the house, but bedroom, living room, library type stuff. The classic glamour is always hot, though.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Look,
True.
he loves it. He's like,
oh, yes.
Classic
Glamour. Oh, my gosh. You know, it really is that kind of Hollywood look. I love that. And of course, we're in this period where, I mean, look at this, where you've got these kind of funky draperies that have sort of a fishnet kind of a look to them, but they're in that chocolate brown. And then it looks to me like if this was my room, that they went in there and added that sort of light pumpkin color to the walls.
Yeah.
And they just did it in
It's
a couple of little places.
Enough. Yeah, it's neutral enough.
So it's not
color.
like overwhelming that the whole thing, but the color is really nice. And then those leather sofas, it looks as if they've just added some orange color to them. And
which is a smart thing, because you might not want an orange leather sofa. But that way, if the pillows can come out, and you can insert other pillows, and the sides they put the orange drapes on there, then that makes it all work.
Yeah, that's really kind of unique, this treatment of, it almost looks like a table runner that you've sort of taken and made into an arm cover.
And guess what I'm going to do with my table runner when I get home?
Oh, boy.
Okay. And classic leather is another one. That's a way that they took classic leather and twisted it and made it something that was really cool. But with a nod to shiny sometimes as well. So you can go back and forth. But we've seen, just like we see sheen and sparkle in clothing this fall, we're seeing a lot more sheen and sparkle in our furniture.
There's a lot of metallic stuff going on. Now, I like to think that when I'm working with a client that I'm doing things that are classic and not trendy, but I have to admit that this metallic thing is sort of eking into things that I'm doing, because it really is so on. It just adds so much interest.
Modern with the sheen, but classic with the style and the brass.
Yeah, exactly. And the nail heads and all that stuff is stuff we see on very traditional kinds of pieces. But that little bit of sheen is kind of cool.
Yeah. Can I tell you what I did?
What?
Okay, I had a canvas chair, and it got dirty, because canvas will get dirty. Instead of cleaning it, I painted it with fabric paint.
Oh, you're so good.
And it's like a sheen like that. In fact, those were my chairs. No, but but it's like I experiment with things like that.
I had a client one time where we made this custom rug, this incredibly expensive custom rug that's all hand tufted, and it was all white and all these various shades of white. And 10 years later, I went to her house, and as I was walking across the rug, it kind of was going crunch, crunch, crunch. She had taken that spray paint kilts, white, and just wherever there was a spot, she just sprayed it white. And honestly, when you step back on it, you couldn't tell. She had really solved the saving of the rug.
Do what you gotta do.
But when you stepped on it, it crunched.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Classic pleats, which sometimes, again, can take you back to something that might feel a little more stuffy, but it depends on how it's done. So this is a different way. That's very cool, very artistic.
I love this picture, because so much of these sort of tailoring details are showing up in upholstery. And so it adds a lot to it. Instead of the regular, normal kind of welt, like this has a welt, you're seing that little French pleat thing where it's just a little stand-up fold.
So new ways and creative ways to use old touches.
And it just adds a lot of richness to something. You know, when you get a blazer that has these extra little details on it, you think, wow, that looks expensive.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing that in upholstery too. Look at the box pleat here, and the way this is just a little bit of an arch, and then they pleat it in there. It really is some nice details to things that have been plain in the past.
And when you go with the material on your headboards and footboards and things like that, it does give you more of that cozy, comfy feeling.
Oh, yeah. That is, talk about a trend, is upholstered headboards. I mean, that is like big, because it's so practical and so comfortable.
And if you don't like it one minute, you get some more material, and you just get that staple gun, cha-chum, cha-chum.
Yeah, exactly.
My poor husband comes home, he walks in the bed, he goes, whoa,
what happened here?
Wrong bedroom here. Okay. Classic dining tables. I know you're a big fan of dining tables, because you love to have company around.
Exactly.
And so there's a classic dining table, but you can go, again, something very, very classic and much more formal.
Isn't this beautiful? I mean, this really is a beautiful dining room. And also wallpaper, paint finishes, things like that. I think that is really back. Wallpaper with big patterns. This to me looks like it might have been a faux finish kind of a deal, where you create either a stencil or a stamp. And that really is lovely. And it does bring in those fall colors, and once again that butterscotch color with the little accents of orange. I mean, it's
I know
wonderful.
People look at this and they think, I can't commit to that, because do I want that forever, right?
Yeah.
But as a designer, you know, you don't have to have it. You can have it for today and get rid of it tomorrow if you want to. There's no law that says you have to have it forever.
And you know, my experience with going bold or go home, you know, is that when you do something that really has an impact, you don't get tired of it. I mean, you love it. You know, every time you walk past the dining room, you go, oh, wow. You know, whereas if you do something that has because you're afraid you'll be completely tired of it. I just don't believe in that.
You never do anything.
And then
so
you
make
never
a house
do
a
anything.
home.
Yeah, right.
Okay. And then we're going to end with rocking chairs are back.
Rocking chairs, who knew?
Yeah,
Who knew?
and they're back,
and
but they're not your grandpa's rocking chair.
They're not your old Adirondack rocking chair on the front porch. There's some really cool looking rocking chairs out there that have been designed by top Italian designers and American designers, and they really are pretty incredible. And there's also some mid-century type rocking chairs and sort of these lounge chairs that are very sleek, and it's sort of the channeled leather and some really cool stuff out there.
All right, well, but we look forward to going into your house and also coming for the holidays, because you have these great ideas that can cost you a lot if you want to, or cost you pennies if you want to, in terms of decorating your home.
My tease is I decorated a Christmas tree for $2. I'll show you. Yeah. $2.
Stop it.
And it's fabulous.
Okay, yeah. I can't wait to see that when we get you back. So, Bill, thank you very much for stopping by this morning.
Oh, you're welcome.
And if you'd like more information on Bill's fall trends, just go to our site at greatdayhouston.com. Up next, let's move to another part of the house, your closet. Male-inspired ensembles, edgy skirts and dresses, and guess what? It's easy going green. The latest trends for fall clothing is next.
Going